If you want to scam people with NFTs, if you can sleep at night after doing that, I'm not going to endorse you, but let me give you a step-by-step guide on how to do it, okay? Because I think that it's super important. It's super education. Education is important. And if I educate you on how people are doing it, you will work out how to do it. Let's imagine I go to some magical, mystical NFT people and I create a picture. Just one magical NFT and it's on sale. It's not worth anything and no one wants it, but it's there. And what I do is I go to Callum Upton, my friend, and I say, hey Callum, here's £110 in real life. Buy my NFT for £100. Keep the tenner. That's my favour to you. So he buys the NFT off me for £100. And this NFT then has one trade listed on it on the blockchain, which never lies, for £100. And then I go to somebody else, another friend of mine, and I give them £120. And I say, hey, could you buy that off, Callum for this amount of money? And they do it. And by now, I am a couple of £100 down, but then Callum gives me the money back in secret. And then I go to a few more of my friends and I say, hey, here's the actual money, buy this from me. And what happens is I'm actually selling the NFT to my friends. A big circle. And the money isn't actually leaving our circle. But the blockchain is recording multiple sales, slowly increasing. Here's the trick. All I need to do is wait for someone who's not in my friendship group to see the NFT increasing in value, increasing in trade value, and think, hey, I could get in on this, because look, it's sold for 100, and then 110, and then 120, then 130, 140, and then finally, someone who's not in my group buys it. And that's when I win. Because as soon as someone who's not in my group buys it, the money has entered my group from someone outside of my group. And therefore I keep it. So let's do this with 100. Let's say that I set up 100 shell companies, which is actually very easy to do. It's remarkably easy to set up a shell company in pretty much any country. That's just a company that has no physical actual trading address. You can even, if you Google shell companies, this was in the Panama Papers years ago. A shell company can be registered to pretty much any address. And there's actually a building in, I think it's America, with about 1,000 companies registered to it. Now, this is not financial advice at all. This is just stuff that you can do. You can register your company to any address. You can have 10 companies under, your control, making 100 NFTs with one of the companies, and then just trade the NFTs between the companies repeatedly, for weeks. Eventually, someone who's not in your company will see these being traded for weeks and think, oh man, I need to get into this. And then they'll buy it from you. And then you don't buy it back. Why do you think NFT bros want you to think their pictures have value? Why do you think they're so, focused on making you think it's worth money? Because it's only worth money if you think it's worth money. It's only valuable if you want it. It's one of those things where if nobody wants the NFT, nobody's going to pay for the NFT. It's only valuable to someone who thinks they can sell it to somebody else. That's what it is. And it irritates me because it's taking advantage of people. Anything that isn't that a crime? Technically, what is and isn't a crime is, it's remarkably complicated in the NFT space because it's so new.